Today I start a new project. It's going to be an ongoing project. It's probably going to last a couple of years at least. And that is to visit small, unremarkable towns and cities maybe in Canada. I live in Ontario, Canada most of the time. So I'm going to visit places in Canada. And also when I'm living in England, I switch back and forth between the two countries. When I'm in England, I'm going to do the same and try and capture a sense of place. A series of images, hopefully 12. That's my assignment I'm giving myself for each place I visit, to end up with at least 12 photos that give you a sense of place and document a moment in time. This idea really kick-started because I was shooting very uninteresting photos, if you like, earlier this year in England, in Folkestone. And then I came across a photographer by the name of Peter Mitchell, who in the 1970s documented Leeds in England. And those photographs, some of them were very similar to what I'd been shooting, and that was the deciding factor. It's, yeah, I need to do what he's doing. I need to create an ongoing body of work and document places. So that's the plan today. So the idea is to visit places that are within an hour's drive from where I live. And in Ontario here, that gives me dozens of options. We're starting this series today in Uxbridge, a little town here in Ontario, and it's a Sunday. And there's a farmer's market. How lovely. And a brewery. That's handy. I've decided not to spend any time at the market because every town has a farmer's market and they all look the same. And if I was doing sort of tourism photography, travel photography, shots of people buying fresh fruit and veg is always a good one, but that's not what this project is about. I really need to capture the essence of each town, the individual characteristics. So I've stepped away from that, and I'm in this old, looks like a disused rail yard. So now we're talking. Actually, before I look at the trains, this building that's kind of cool. I like that. Blue sky, red building, green grass. Love it. I'm not sure that building is anything to do with the rail yard. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but it warmed me up. I'm in the mood now. I need to take a couple of shots like that to get going. Like so many small towns in Ontario, railways were so important. In middle to late 1800s, many lines were built linking these places to the largest cities and ports so that the agriculture in these areas, milk and grain, could be transported, lumber. But now, of course, nobody needs trains. You've got trucks and cars and a highway system here, so they're just decaying, and that's kind of sad. The strength of the midday sun is not making this easy. It's so much contrast. This is not a bad composition. If I get really low, it's kind of dramatic, but there's just so much contrast. I'm going to have to pull those shadows up. I'm using my 35mm prime, which pretty much stays on the camera these days, but I do have a little 20mm prime, a little plastic thing that I haven't really used a lot yet since I got it. I really got it for video to put my other camera on a gimbal. But it might come in handy today. This is looking good. Some color and texture, I like that. Very cool that we can actually come on here and look around. There's nobody around. This is a really interesting architecture, isn't it? I'm going to have to capture that. Got the Uxbridge sign there as well. That's cool. Now, I can see myself in the reflection. I don't want that. I like the fact that there is some blocks of colour from the train in the reflection though, so I'm not sure whether I can get myself out of frame. Yeah, actually that will work. 35mm is not wide enough. I'm glad I bought the 20mm, so I'll just pop that on. Just remembered I had a step down ring for my polarizing filter, so I just took that shot again with the polarizer. Not that it's going to make any difference probably. The light was terrible, totally the wrong time of the day. Because I've been shooting with a polarizer which loses me light in shadow, I needed to crank my base ISO up from 100 to a higher ISO number. Now you might think, well, maybe do 300 or 400 ISO and that's going to improve it. I'm going to be able to get an exposure, a handheld exposure doing that. Well, no. Something that nobody seems to talk about when it comes to ISO is that a lot of modern cameras like this one are dual base ISO, which means they're optimized for, in this case, 100 ISO and 800 ISO. So I'm not going to get into all the technical stuff because it's boring. You can get that anywhere if you use Chat GPT, it'll tell you. But the bottom line is I'm going to get a better quality image with less noise and better dynamic range shooting at the second base ISO of 800 than I would at, say, 400 or 500. It's worth Googling that, or Chat GPTing. Is it Chat GPT? I think it is. Right, all that talking, I haven't got a clue where I am now. So I love these kind of shots. I like the blue bins, giving a little bit of colour to an otherwise dull, dreary spot. This is the main street in Uxbridge where the stores are. Some lovely Victorian architecture, that's nice to see. And some nasty 1960s and 1970s architecture too. Not so nice to see. This is very typical of an Ontario small town. Wonder what's going on here. Well, it's nice and cool under here, so that's kind of refreshing because I am melting right now. This is interesting. There's something very liminal about it, and I really like it. Wrong time of day. I can see myself coming back here in the evening, like blue hour. But I'm going to take a shot right now anyway, because there's just something about this. It's just a simple graphic composition. It's a bit sad looking. Warrants a photo for sure. I think the best composition here is placing that car on the right third. Okay, let's go back to the main street. Well, that's an interesting spot to wait for somebody to come into the frame at the end of the alleyway here. But the problem with these small towns, there's nobody around, so I could be waiting for ages. Like, there is literally nobody on this side of the street. No wonder the stores are closing down. Nobody goes shopping here anymore on a weekend or during the week. This is the main intersection in the town, and where the most architectural interest is as well. There's this sort of 1950s style, is it? 40s style movie theatre, and an old church from the late 1800s, I would imagine, and a statue. So I'm gonna see where I can get the best, frame up the best composition here, I think, because this is probably the one shot that says Uxbridge. I've just shot what I think is the best photo of the day. I just love it. I love the blocks of colour, the shapes, the story. Shop where you live, and all of the commercial buildings around that sign are all derelict, all boarded up. In fact, this whole section of town is run down, so there's a lot to photograph. Very cool. Oh, and I love the fact that amongst all that dereliction, they've still bothered to put a hanging basket and keep it watered in this heat. Isn't that funny? I love that. Less than 2 minutes after that last photo, I've just shot another composition which is even better. This is now my favourite shot from the day. So I wanted to get 12 reasonable photos from today. I've got 2 great ones. The fact that I've got 2 great ones, I'm happy. Let's walk back on this side of the street and see what we can find. Time to put the 35mm back on, because this detail shot behind me with the banner saying "Savour Uxbridge" and the derelict building behind it, well, there's lots to savour there in a photograph with a 35mm lens.